and welcome. This is the New Year's Eve. Oh, and I even took off my top, which I don't think I should have, but I just look really good. This is the New Year's Eve podcast for Money with Mac and G. We have a crazy new guest on here, and that's going to be the Petro twins. We have Kobe and Tony Petro with us today. Why don't we just go ahead and welcome them, let them say a little something, then we'll get back into what's happening.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. I'm excited to be here.
All right, and what's your name?
I'm Jacoby Petrosciani.
Okay.
I'm Mac and G's cousin, and I don't know what.
And you're one of the guys over at what company?
Oh, Hacker Rank. I'm currently working there as their lead DevOps engineer.
Awesome. So he's got a lot of IT background. Mr. Anthony Petrosciani.
Tony Petrosciani. Uncle Tony to you two.
Yeah.
I'm an IT geek guy from 1985 when I graduated college. And that was back before, computers really even existed. But I knew how to work them.
Yeah. So, Grant, go ahead and give us a hello. You pretty excited after Christmas?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I hope you had a great Christmas. This is the New Year's Eve special, and we're going to be talking a bit about all the stocks and everything about 2020.
Awesome. Mac, how about you? Go ahead. Give us a hit.
Hello, everybody. I am really tired today, but I am excited to do this, so yay.
All right.
Merry Christmas. Very late Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. So the thing is that we're moving into the new year. We want to take a quick look back to 2020. And before we get started in that, I'd like to get one word. What's the one word you can say that describes all of 2020? Kobe.
Crazy.
Oh, good one. Grant, how about you?
COVID.
Oh, the double C's. Mac, how about you?
Sadness.
Oh, all right. I guess maybe I should do wild ride. I put that together. Wild ride.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm thinking of the stock market and some crazy stuff that went on. And over the last 11 months, what do we see that happened? We had the election. We had lots of COVID stuff. We saw lots of face masks and lots of different things, right? But from a financial perspective, the ride really started to happen what time of year?
I mean, right at the beginning, basically. Like, it's been a roller coaster since then.
Right?
April. Well, when did the stock market tank, guys?
Well, it was right after March, right?
It was like in March, late March, right?
Yeah.
And did you guys know that this is the fastest recovery for a bear market that we've ever seen? Do you know what a bear market is?
Is it one that's not wearing any clothes?
No.
Isn't there a bear and a bull? The bull is good, right?
The bull is good and the bear is bad, right? The bear will paw and
Is the bear 2020?
The bear was 2020 in March, but then it turned around. And what happened? The stock market came back, and we did a lot of numbers for 2020 when we were looking at the stock market overall, S&P, the Dow, and those other things. But in 2020, there was lots of really interesting things that were happening. What do you guys see our Google year? Do you guys see any of this? Kobe, you and I were talking about it just a little bit. We're talking about the number of Google searches that happened during 2020 for the top 5 of some different categories. What do you see? What are some of the ones that we looked at? We said, well, the one that said, "Where is my stimulus check?" was a really big one, right? There were a lot of people that were looking up, "Where is my stimulus check?"
Somebody give me the stimulus check, please.
Exactly.
Where is it?
Exactly. What are some of the other ones? You guys don't have to be too quiet down there.
Oh, yeah.
Where is Kansas City?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's right. There was a little bit of argument. I think our El Presidente got that wrong, didn't he?
Oh, did he? He didn't know where it was?
He was talking about it was in Kansas.
Oh.
There is a Kansas City in Kansas, but the one that they're talking about is...
I want to make sure
Oklahoma?
It's right.
Kansas City, Oklahoma?
Kansas City and then Missouri?
Kansas City, Europe?
Is it Missouri?
Europe? Oh, no. Time to go back to school for the
no wonder it
geography
was searched for so often. Nobody knows where
Yeah,
it is.
I would have Googled that.
So what's the number one? The person that has passed away who was Googled more this past year?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe.
Yeah.
The Black Mamba.
That's what he's called? The Black
Yeah,
Mamba?
this is one of his nicknames.
I call him the GOAT.
Really?
The GOAT.
Why is that?
The GOAT. He's the GOAT at basketball.
Brett, really?
You
Is
know
that
what GOAT
good?
stands for?
Greatest of all time.
Goodness.
Yeah. It's greatest
Yeah.
of all time.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Hey, what day? One of you kids, tell me what an acronym is.
Acronym?
An acronym? Isn't it like, Like, is it something like FYI is like for your information? It's like
Or
that?
GOAT is greatest of all time?
Yeah, like that.
Hey, I've got a good one for you kids. You know what TLA is?
No.
It's a 3-letter acronym that means 3-letter acronym.
3-letter acronym.
That's helpful.
I think our guest stars here, even though they're highly respected in the fields of finance and technology, have a sense of humor along the way. So pretty interesting stuff. What was the number one search that was out there of all 2020?
Election results?
Election results. There you go.
Watch the news.
And followed by the C word. What's the C word? Coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
And then Kobe Bryant. So it's been a pretty crazy,
Not Kobe Petrosciani, but Kobe
not
Bryant.
Jacoby
The other-
Petrosciani.
Oh, sorry.
But one of the interesting things, I just saw it in here, I saw on babies. So when you search for babies,
Oh no.
what is the number one baby search? You guys got to...
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. And what's so funny about Elon Musk, which ties back into finance, so we'll get there. Go ahead, Cobe.
Well, he named it a string of weird symbols and then letters and numbers.
So do you just go, achoo.
Yeah, basically. I mean, what is it? It's X and then the little AE symbol and then
it's like a-
A-12.
It's like R2D2. It's like a robot name or something.
Like
Oh,
that.
no.
I think that they said how they pronounce it too. They pronounce it X-A12.
X
But, like,
A12.
Okay, that's
maybe
a
the
cool
kid
name.
actually likes it. I mean,
Well,
who knows?
kid-
we
The
don't know
baby.
yet.
Or the baby.
So far, he
Somewhere in
responds
that robotic
positively
brain
to
he
it. He
knows.
cries a lot when he hears his name.
Yeah. Is it K Ash? Is that what you said?
It says X-A12. I don't know if they're calling that
X
Kai
Ash.
or K.
Maybe
I don't
like
know. Is it
a-
X?
It's
Maybe the nickname will be Ash or something.
It's like cash. So what happened particularly interesting for Elon Musk this year? Did his wealth go up or down?
Oh, it went up by a lot.
Like, what's a lot?
I think he's second in like the most wealthiest man in the world now.
So what, is he worth $1 billion?
Yes, definitely. He's like 150 billion, I think now.
Yeah, way to pull
And
out.
Jeff
Gee.
Bezos is 178.
That's right. That's right. Nailed it. And how much did he go up this year? McAdoo, you know?
I didn't check.
A lot.
A lot. That's right. Well, I had a friend tell me to buy the stock at I think 300, and I think I was looking at it this morning. It was 670.
And that's after the split too.
Yes. So he went up $100 billion this year. And
Oh, wow.
we talked
140. Wait.
No, he went up to like 140 or
sorry.
150 billion.
Yeah.
But he grew 100 billion this year. Absolutely
Wow.
crazy, huh? Is there anything else on here that you look back that is interesting?
The one that I like is where to buy PS5.
Where to buy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're all sold out, so you might as well just go to Sony.
Yeah. Do you have any idea why they're sold out? Because I don't know, but Kobe sure does. He's
They're the
tech guy.
hot new deals.
Right. But
Yes.
something else has happened because we talk about markets all the time. What do we know about markets? There are two things, the S and the D. Supply.
Oh, and demand.
and demand. And what do you think? Was the supply like crazy? Like they had tons and tons of them or not?
I don't know actually. Like, so,
why don't you ask Kobe?
They sold out, so I don't know.
Well, so actually, yeah, they did have a ton of supply, but the problem is there's a lot of money to be made in scalping these products because so many people want them for
What does scalping
Christmas.
mean, Kobe?
Basically, people are buying up all the stock and then they go and list it somewhere else for a much higher price, and then they collect that like difference.
Can you believe that? And what was kind of that normal average adjustment upward when they were reselling?
Oh, it was like 2 or 3x basically. So they would go and buy a bunch of Xboxes or PS5s for $500 and then go list them for $1,000 to $2,000, and
Wow.
and people would buy them
Great
on eBay. And it's kind of like, it's really silly because they have so much supply. They had it all planned out for holiday 2020, but all these people were writing bots to go in and buy up all the stock as
What's
fast
a bot,
as possible.
Kobe?
Basically like an automated like piece of code that can perform some actions for whoever's running it, but it would just go into all the places accepting pre-orders right as soon as they opened up, and it would just purchase all of the pre-orders it could.
Oh, wow.
And so like the PS5 I think ran out of stock on pretty much every site you could pre-order it on
Every site.
in like
Every-
30 minutes or something like that. I couldn't get my hands on a PS5 pre-order.
So they didn't have enough supply.
Well,
There was more demand than supply.
there's a lot more demand, but also like a lot of these scalpers still can't get rid of their stock because people aren't willing to pay $2,000 for an Xbox that's going to be $500 retail.
So, Kobe, I have a question. So, how long did it take you to get your Xbox Series X, and how much did you buy it for?
Yeah, so I got it from Microsoft themselves. So I got it for $500. I basically was sitting there waiting for it to open up on pre-order, like the day the pre-orders went live. I got into it 10 minutes into pre-orders being open, and 30 minutes later, sold out everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy? And if that's like the number one thing to ask for is where do I find a PS5? What was the number two thing during 2020 that people are looking for?
Um,
I would have thought this was first.
My initials are TP.
Toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
Oh, yeah, at the beginning of
Tony
COVID, like,
Petrucciani. Yeah, that's right.
Wait,
no,
your
check that
toilet
out.
paper?
Tony Petrucciani, Tony Petrucciani, Antonio.
TP.
But he goes by TP, man.
Wait, did TP have... Wait.
His head just exploded. He's like, wait a second. What's number 3, Mac?
Number 3 is... Wait.
Where to buy? Rhymes with base. Starts with F.
Face.
Mask.
Mask.
Face mask.
got one.
So a whole new market. As of January, there was no market really for face masks. Then all of a sudden it exploded, right? But we needed face masks in hospitals. But to have them everywhere, what do you think did to those companies that had to produce face masks? They exploded, right? If they
Yeah.
were doing it, they were
But, like, how much supply would they have to have for that? Like,
well,
like
do
a
most people wear them in the U.S. now? Like more
Yeah.
than half?
is that even a question?
So that's like 200 million people right there. Plus, you have a lot of throwaways if you're more than half. Like
So how
that's
did they pay for all of that?
165, so I rounded up to 200. What?
Did they get some of that from the government or
I
something?
don't know,
or-
Tony, how'd you pay for your Colts mask?
Oh, you pay for it yourself. I mean,
Well, no, to make it, not to buy it somewhere, just like to
well,
make them.
okay, so there's two things, right? You can buy something, so you go to the store, you give them money, or if you make it, you have to go to the store and buy the materials, and then put some labor involved to make it.
Right?
No. What
How
I
did the
mean is,
company
like,
make it?
Like, yeah, like
They
how did-
decided they want a new product, just like
Okay, no, I thought they like a bunch, like you know those like plastic, like not those plastic masks, but like the throwaway ones.
yeah.
Like were they all one company or like?
It was relatively small number of
Okay,
companies.
I was wondering because like that probably took a lot of money. So.
Yep. So to ramp up, they probably had to buy a whole bunch of new materials, and everybody were trying to get those same materials, and it got probably really, really crazy.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about all these things and how COVID touched all the different places, which stocks were hit the worst? We talked about it a little bit last week, but I've never heard this before. It's highlighted on your piece of page there. Kobe and Tony, do you guys remember what we were talking about?
The beach.
The beach.
stocks.
The beach got
stocks.
killed.
The beach got killed,
Yep.
right? There are booking stocks, entertainment, airlines, cruises, and hotels. And they also put something else in there for, like the E word, it's entertainment, live events, cruises and casinos, hotels and resorts. So they got smashed. And what's the TLA? What's the acronym that we use? It's not a 3-letter acronym. But what's the acronym that we use for the stocks, the set of stocks that just exploded this year?
Fang.
FANG, Mac. Remember what FANG is?
Yes, it is Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google and
Good.
Microsoft.
Google,
Yeah.
Microsoft. So FANGMA.
Fang'em.
Fangma.
Fang'em.
That's right.
Fang'em.
But those guys just
Fang'em.
crushed it, right? They just really did some crazy stuff. And do you guys remember when I was telling you about the Zoom and Zoom stock?
Oh wow,
yeah.
it's worth more than like a bunch of airlines all combined.
Yeah, like all
It's a
the U.S.
ton.
airlines. If I got it right, it's all the U.S. I know it was Southwest. Can you name another airline?
American.
United, American,
Huh?
Delta.
Delta.
Yeah.
and then there was a couple others that were thrown in there
Turkish
too.
Airlines.
So Zoom is worth more than all those airlines put together.
How much is it worth now?
Why don't you look it up? Kobe's
Alright.
looking it up. See, that's what you guys are supposed to be doing, though. You're supposed to be figuring that out because those are some really interesting statistics. So beaches got slammed. The fangs came out.
Wow, Zoom's worth 102 billion.
102 billion.
Ooh,
You want to hear something funny about the stock market?
What?
sure.
Well, sometimes you want to do a little research and understand what you're buying. But when Zoom started getting popular because everybody had to work from home and work over Zoom, there was another company out there that had a stock symbol, Zoom, that's not the same company. And people went out and bought that and drove the price way up thinking they were buying into the video conferencing company.
What was the name of, what was that company?
Zoom.
Like, no, but what did they do? Do you remember the dot-com bubble? And companies would actually change their name. Like if their name was White Paper, they go out and change it to White Paper Tech. And overnight, their stock price would jump 15%, meaning the next day. They would change their name legally so that they would get people to buy their stock, and they did. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably more likely buy white paper tech than
You would-
White Paper. I don't know why.
But that's absolutely crazy. And when you look at Fang and everything that it's done, did you figure out what it was, Cobe?
I can't find it. Here it is. Stock ticker ZI. Or are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about a different one. This is another one. It's called Zoom Info Technologies.
Okay.
But I remember that happening where people just Googled Zoom and then put money into whatever the first stock ticker that came up.
Mm-hmm.
And it caused a huge
Zoom
bump.
Technologies. It was a penny stock.
And it exploded.
It exploded because people were buying it thinking that was the Zoom video conferencing software company, and it wasn't.
Dude, that's like crazy.
It's worth $45 right now.
Do we know what a ticker symbol is?
Yes, you do.
I
You're
do.
shaking your head for. What's like Apple? What are the Apple symbol when you buy it?
An
Oh,
apple?
it's APL, I think.
AAPL.
AAPL.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's
I didn't
a
know that was what
Ticker
it's
symbol.
called.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's Starbucks?
Yeah, what is Starbucks? SBX?
S-Bucks.
S-Bucks? Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah, I just have them in my portfolio. Just come right up.
Well,
So-
what about Salesforce?
What is it?
CRM.
Customer Relation Management.
Hey, that's a
System,
TLA.
sir. Hey, TLA. 3-letter acronym. Bang. Uncle Tony's on it. So when we have COVID, all these crazy things are happening, and we're talking about money. One of the things, that concerns me is education. Do you guys know what the number one reason that kids succeed with their education is? What do you think it is?
School?
That you have a school? Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
well, they go in person also.
Go in person. Let's see. What is it?
Having parents that support them.
Ouch, Mac nailed it. It is. The number one reason kids will succeed is supportive parents. Do you know why? Because you got to stop touching, bud.
Sorry.
The number one reason is because if your teacher doesn't teach you and you come home and you have supportive parents that will help and encourage, that will make the difference. So when all of these kids, how many kids do you think got hit by shutting down schools? Anybody have an idea?
600.
600?
Total.
I'm just guessing.
At
I'm
least.
guessing
It's
the
got to
total.
be at least
I'm
600.
gonna say.
Worldwide. Let's do it worldwide.
Oh, worldwide.
Yep.
I'm gonna say
800.
800,000 billion.
800,000 billion.
I mean 800,000. That's
800,000? Nope. It's much bigger than that. Grant.
3 billion?
I have a guess.
Okay, Cobe.
I would guess around 1.5 billion, maybe.
Exactly.
Oh, really?
1.5 billion kids have been affected. And that's just not kind of like, hey, we're going to set you up in another way. That's school is closed, which means they're not learning. Because what do you need to learn from a distance? And this is one of the great things with Kobe here. Go ahead. You can go, Mac.
An electronic.
You need electronics, but you also need rhymes with tie-dye.
Wi-Fi?
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
You need Wi-Fi. What if you're in a place that doesn't have a lot of money and then you can't get Wi-Fi?
Oh, no. You would have to be homeschooled then.
You'd have to be homeschooled.
Well, but also some of your parents, they...
But what if your parents are working all day?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's hard.
That's pretty tough, right? We take for granted that we have Wi-Fi everywhere we go, right?
You have to go to school anyways?
1.5 billion. And what do you think the cost to the public schools just in the United States has been? Like, if you shut down, people got sick, they had to redo and go everything online, there's a cost to go online, and they still had cost of continuing the schools? Tony, what are you thinking?
How many kids?
No. Like, how much money does the public schools think that they've lost due to COVID?
Over 200 billion.
225 billion. That's a quarter of $1 trillion.
Yikes. It's more than Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Scary!
Here's something. Do you know the difference between a million and a billion? So if you could count
1,000
from 0
million?
to 1,000,000, and you could count a number every second, how long would it take you to count to 1,000,000?
A million?
Yeah.
1 million seconds?
A million seconds?
Yeah, how long is that?
A lot of years.
A lot of time.
Like 11. It's over 11 days.
Oh.
It is?
If you counted just to 1 million, it'd be 11 days. You couldn't stop, couldn't sleep, couldn't pee.
Now, how
But
long
then
would
a billion is like 51 years.
It's like, it's over 30 years or something. Isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought it said 51. Like
Well,
I
it could
searched
be.
it.
Let's see.
I don't know.
So when he looks for that, if you have all of these 1.5 billion people that don't have education anymore, they think there's going to cause a problem that they're not going to be learning as fast, and they're going to miss opportunities when they get older because they lost out in school. Tony, how long does it take to count to 1 billion?
It says if you could do it one number every second, which is really hard to say, big long numbers a second, but it'd take 31.7 years.
Oh my.
So that's a difference in how much a different a million and a billion is. And don't even think about a trillion. Like the trillion.
my.
How many billions are in a trillion?
1,000?
A billion.
Wait, what?
I'm just
You're
joking.
both
It's
right.
1,000.
No.
It's 1,000. It's 1,000.
Yeah.
It's 1,000.
So
So
1,000 times longer than 31 years to count to a trillion.
Yeah.
3,000.
So in 2020, we had a lot of stuff that went on. A third of the companies had to increase their digital technology, right? Kobe, what are some of the things that you guys introduced once you guys all went to home working from home?
Yeah, basically everything went remote first. You know, we used to have 4 office locations where people would do like in-person meetings. Like obviously we've switched to Zoom entirely for everything. Pretty much anytime you want to talk to anybody, you set up a Zoom call. We've been using Slack a lot more. That's like our chat app for our company. Like pretty much any communication is either through Zoom or Slack.
Did you cut down any of your real estate?
Only one office, actually, because we have like these really long leases. But our Indianapolis office, actually, our lease came up for renewal, and we were about to sign a new office space right when COVID hit. And so we actually put that off. We put everything in storage. But so we don't have a physical location in Indianapolis anymore.
Gotcha. Well, it's sure changed a heck of a lot of things. The FANG stocks, really hit it out of the park. Now, do you guys, being 12 and all, I thought maybe you could use some non-financial things that were kind of cool in 2020. You guys know of any cool things that happened in 2020?
Cool.
Cool.
Did you know the whales came back to New York?
They did?
First time they
Ooh.
spotted whales in like a long time. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
No, I did not know that.
Wow. What about the panda bear that reproduced in Hong Kong Ocean Park Zoo?
Oh, yeah.
You guys need to look that up because that one was
I'm going to
pretty
see
neat.
it. It's
How about
They're
record
cute.
numbers of puppies getting adopted that normally wouldn't? Record numbers.
So if we get back to finance, on that point, you guys ever heard of Chewy?
Yes.
What is Chewy?
It's
is
a
it
dog bone.
Gum.
it's a what?
it's a dog bone that's really chewy. No, it's a company, right? We talk a lot about companies, right? And what do you know what Chewy was doing back in March?
No.
Chewy was doing about $23 a share. And do you know what it's selling for? I looked it up this morning.
Around 94.
It was how much?
94.
It was like 104.
It's down 10%.
It's down 10%
Oh,
today.
this morning I
Oh
looked it up.
no,
It's
the
like,
cat's out of the bag.
that's right.
Hey.
Boop, boop. Hey, Tony will not be here all week. But here's another one. Here's a crazy one for you. Here's something that makes you feel special. All the healthcare workers, right? They're getting hammered. They're helping out a lot of people. Do you know there's a Canadian healthcare worker that won the lotto?
Oh.
How much do you think she won? She got her ticket and she said, "Hey, I won $6,000." And you know how Uncle Tony was talking about the difference between $1 million and $1 billion is what?
A lot.
It was actually
600
she
million?
lost 1,000 times, and so when you added 3 more zeros, instead of winning 6,000, she won $6 million.
Oh my.
Yeah. She thought, she goes, oh, I won 6,000, woohoo! And then she showed her friends or whatever, and they looked at it and they go, no, you won 6 million! And so she really won $6 million.
Oh,
Isn't that cool?
wow.
So that was a pretty good story, right? Healthcare worker. Did you hear about the king of math?
The 10-year-old.
You learned about the 10-year-old? Yeah. What's...
No, I just see it on here.
Oh, you see it on here? He's the king of math, and what did he do that was pretty slick?
He did 196 multiplication and division facts in 1 minute.
Wow.
Whoa. So that means he was doing
How does that
almost
even
3.5.
work?
He was doing, he's doing 3.5 a second. Holy spagoli.
That's insane.
Did I do the math right? 60 times 3 is 180. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy spagoli.
Well, and they probably weren't small numbers too.
I wouldn't think
mean-
so. I heard it's a new world's record.
How can you even say? I mean, if they're big numbers, how long does it take to say them? 1,260,000.
It must have been he was typing
He was
it into
typing,
something.
is what I was saying. He was
goodness
in front of a
gracious.
computer. Isn't that crazy?
I can't type that fast.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
with one finger. Tick, 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 tick.
Okay, so here's one of my favorites. Let's see. Did you guys know about the big tree that's up in New York in Rockefeller Center? Did you guys ever hear about that?
No, I have not.
Whenever you see the Christmas tree, usually Rockefeller Center, which Rockefeller, bring it back to finance, did he have a little bit of money or a lot of money?
Probably a lot.
Like a ton. He had a ton of money. And what happened? They always have a huge tree, and the tree is what? How big do you think the tree was? 10 feet tall?
75.
75 feet. How'd you guys get that? 75 feet.
No, it just seems like the right height.
And they usually bring it. Where do they bring it from, Kobe? Can you find it? I think it's like Washington or Oregon, and they bring it all the way to New York. So how long do you think it takes? Like 2 hours? 4 days? What?
A lot more than that.
I thought it takes 3 or 4 days to get there. And when they unpacked it and everything, they found a baby
Owl.
owl in there.
That's so
cute.
adorable.
And they were concerned because do you think that baby owl was eating if he was stuck in a tree on a
No.
trailer across
For
the United
days.
States? No. So he didn't eat. They were really concerned about him. They fed him all the mice he wanted, and I guess he popped back really well. He's doing really well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a baby owl.
Yeah.
So nobody was there even to change his diaper?
No. He was just pooping in a tree. And hopefully you weren't riding in a car next to him.
Hey, this ties back to a question, a comment that his grandfather always makes to him. The waiter comes to the table, says, "Oh, it's end of dinner. Is there anything else I can get you? Anything else I can bring you, sir?" And he always says, "Yeah, bring me a pound of hundreds." So, which made me think about, you said Rockefeller had a ton of money. So if you had a ton of $100 bills,
Yeah.
how much money would that be?
I don't know. What is a ton? I thought we did that one time.
A
Right? A ton is
ton?
2,000 pounds.
Yeah.
And how much is each $100 bill worth? Or weigh?
About 1 gram.
1 gram. So how many grams is it
Grams are 28 in a pound.
28? Okay.
I'm tired.
Or wait,
I just remember
much
it's like
math.
around $45,000 for a pound of
yeah,
hundreds.
so it's $90 million.
$90 million
A ton of
is a ton
$100
of
bills would be
money.
$90 million. So if somebody gave you $90 million and said you have to carry it all at once to take it home if you want to keep it, what would happen?
You get flattened.
You wouldn't be able to carry it. It's a
You're
ton.
going to carry it. Hey! There you go.
You would have to get a pickup truck or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
big truck.
drive
More
it
than
through the
that.
rest-
Not a quarter ton pickup truck, a full ton pickup truck.
Full ton, yeah.
There you go.
And then you want to put a cover on it so they don't blow away when you drive.
Or just put it on a credit card.
But then how would you be able to get the credit card out from under it?
You would put it under it. You would put it on
said-
top. Put it on top.
She just said you could do that. And what do you call it? You spend a ton of money, and then you just pay for it with that. Hey, pick it up on the corner of 3rd and Main. So what's the big news? The big news over this weekend. What happened? President Trump.
He signed the.
I was going to say Christmas.
I said over the weekend. Christmas was Friday, right?
No, it felt like a whole 4-day weekend.
Oh yeah. So what did President Trump sign? Anybody know?
It was a stimulus check.
He
The
signed
stimulus
it.
package, and
Yeah.
we're getting
Stimulus
checks.
package, I mean, yeah.
And how much is Uncle Tony going to get of the stimulus checks?
Nothing.
You're just going to get relieved of your PPP. But how big is this stimulus package? Do you remember? We talked about it last week.
Isn't it like 1,000? Oh no, 600.
$600 per person. But the actual package included all kinds of crazy stuff. $900 million or $1 billion.
$900 billion.
What's the difference between $1 million and $1 billion again?
A lot.
Ben?
And the first stimulus was how big? Do you guys remember the first stimulus package? It was bigger than $900 billion.
It was like 1,000. Oh yeah, go ahead.
It was like 2.2, I thought.
Yeah, it was over $2 billion.
Billion?
Now,
trillion?
Trillion.
2.2 trillion.
Oh,
That's right.
What's the difference between $1 billion and $1 trillion?
oh my
A lot.
God. Okay, so if we're going $900 billion and we did $2.2 trillion, if we add those together, we're over $3 trillion, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what our budget for an entire year is? $4 trillion.
At this household?
Yeah. No, at the U.S. government. That's $4 trillion, of which $1 trillion we go into debt. And if we add another $3 trillion, we have quadrupled the amount of debt that we just went into for any one year.
Oh gosh.
That's a lot.
Well, you can just print more money.
Yeah. We're going to have to talk about that, Co. We're going to have to talk about that.
Can we do an episode on modern monetary theory?
Ooh, do you want to talk about fiat currency?
Let's talk about fiat currency, yes.
Fiat currency, we'll have to talk about that another time.
Because aren't they out of business? No, Fiat came back, didn't they?
They're owned by Chrysler now, right?
Wow, you guys could go all day. But
Okay, so-
with currency, what happened to Bitcoin? Do you remember Bitcoin
It
last week?
started in like 2009, but anyways, like thousands were like launched and made, so it's crazy.
Well, what
Cryptocurrencies or
cryptocurrency?
Bitcoin?
And how much was it trading for last week?
Like 20,000
million?
Yeah, 24,000.
Sorry, yeah. Well, altogether.
Million or billion?
$1 million.
$24,000
It was
for one coin.
For one coin, and
do you remember how much that pizza cost when we
That's
talked
what I'm
about last
saying.
week?
Wasn't it like 8 million or something?
It was a couple years ago. It was worth like 8 million, but at 23,000, they had 10,000 Bitcoin. So that those two pizzas cost $230 million.
Oh, wow.
yeah,
that's
he
the
paid
difference.
with all those bitcoins.
That guy's kicking himself right now.
And his name is Jacoby.
Yeah, because Kobe's owned some digital currency, right, Kobe?
Yeah, been in and out of a few coins, but a lot of them seem to be more like scams than actual currency.
We did have
we're going to get hate mail.
We did get a mining rig that we built several years back to start mining, and we decided to mine Ethereum instead of Bitcoin.
So-
Ethereum and Monero.
So these guys, people listening may not even know what mining is all about. Do you guys know what mining's at, Mike and G?
Not really.
Not really.
So, don't you get paid for helping to stabilize? Is that kind of the right way to say it?
Yeah.
It's
I don't want to
long-winded-
go too deep
Wait,
into it.
here's what it is. You guys ever play Minecraft?
Yes.
And what do you guys do? You go down there and you poke and you look at stuff and you see if there's something in there. Click. Sometimes it's just empty.
You
keep
mine
digging.
for stuff?
You're mining for it, just like we do with when they're
Yeah.
mining underground for diamonds. And sometimes you dig and there's nothing there, and you dig a lot and there's nothing there. All of a sudden something's there. They've got something like that where you get this program you use and you keep digging for bitcoins. And every once in a while you find a piece of a bitcoin under there.
And so you earn it by mining it. But when you do that, it helps the whole system. So it's a little crazy, but what they did is they actually put together what's a mining rig, which is a computer that does this searching for the Bitcoin, and you earn Bitcoin as you go along. And so didn't you earn some Bitcoin along the way, Kobe?
So not Bitcoin, but the other currencies that we were mining
Ethereum.
for.
Yeah,
Ethereum and Monero.
Isn't that crazy? So they were going ahead and search for some of those other ones as well.
That sounds like high-tech diamonds or something. Ethereum.
It is high-tech
But
diamonds.
it is like high tech. What if you found a Bitcoin? That'd be $24,000. It'd be like finding a diamond.
Yeah.
Do you know how much a Bitcoin weighs?
It's really light, I think. I don't know. Wait, no, it's a computer. It says it doesn't weigh anything.
A few electrons.
Hey. Yeah, it could be. It's a couple zeros and ones.
Atomic weight.
Yeah, it might
and all
weigh
that.
something.
It might weigh something. Yeah, but it's
Negligible. You could definitely hold $90 million worth of Bitcoins without straining.
not. Yes, exactly.
SEC might be after you for that. You're holding that much. IRS.
Okay.
So what about like bankruptcies? What kind of bankruptcies did we see this year? Because, with the financial news.
Chapter 7, Chapter 11, Chapter 13.
Who do we see? There's some, when you guys are younger, you like to jump in the balls and get some pizza at Chuck E.
Oh, Chuck E. Cheese.
Charles
Oh my
E.
gosh.
Cheese.
I love
Went
that
belly
place.
up. California Pizza Kitchen.
Yeah.
The parent company of Pizza Hut and Wendy's went belly
Fitness
up.
locations.
Fitness location. I used to
That's
work at
sad.
24-hour fitness.
50% increase in bankruptcies in those places.
Yeah. It looks like it's about 50% increase in bankruptcy. So it's getting a little tough. And we're not really out of the woods because did you know the first person from COVID passed away in beginning of February of this year? He was 60 years old, died of COVID in February, and then March things tanked, and we came back. But there's a lot of companies that are still struggling, right?
Yeah.
So we had a number of bankruptcies. We look back at some of the stuff that Google had the highest searches on, which was pretty funny, right?
Yeah.
Any other ones on there that you...
There's a baby platypus. I just have to say that because they're so.
Baby platypus?
Yeah, they're so adorable.
I didn't even know that. We're going to have to look at that one.
What do you think
when we get
the
off.
top beauty tip search was?
Yeah, that was going to be what I was going to ask.
Curtain bangs. How to start? Wait.
No, the top one.
The top one.
Oh, the top one.
How do you
cut men,
How to cut men's
hair at home.
how do you think that was happening?
People weren't at work?
Yeah.
Trying to save money.
You can't.
Yeah.
Well, the hairdressers were all closed, right? The barber shops, they couldn't have people in them, so your hair keeps growing even though the shops are closed, right?
Yeah, the top 3 things are about hair, like how to color your hair and how to plop your hair.
What's a plop?
What's
I don't
plop?
I don't know that one.
know. How to plop your hair. That doesn't sound too
plop.
savory.
I think somebody might have mistyped that.
Yeah. How to wash your hands. That's good to know. People don't know how to wash their hands. And was that a top beauty? That's a beauty how-to. How to wash your hands. It's number 4 of Google for 2020. Oh, my gosh.
I can't believe people didn't know beforehand.
I didn't either.
I see the games. There's Among Us on there. Yeah, that literally exploded.
Which one?
Among Us.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Literally,
There's also,
it just came out of nowhere. And
Fall
it just
Guys.
exploded.
That's on Xbox, I think.
Yeah. And,
PS4 and PC.
Sorry, yeah.
and did you have to pay for Among Us?
No,
it's free.
Well, so the other
But
funny thing
on-
about Among Us is that it came out in 2018, but it
Yeah.
just saw like a resurgence in popularity this year because of everyone being at home and trying to find games where a lot of people can play together.
Nice. And so what happened with, Minecraft? Minecraft, people played and played and played, and you really weren't charged for it, and then it got big, and we talked about Microsoft buying them for how many billions of dollars?
Oh,
It was like some crazy number.
Yeah, it
of
was-
dollars.
pretty crazy.
Wow.
How to drink beer at home.
The Croix.
La Croix.
La Croix.
So it was purchased by Microsoft for billions and billions of dollars.
$2.5 billion.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was more than that.
Oh,
It should have been with how big it got.
Wait, did you say
but
2.5
2.5
million or 2.5 billion?
billion
Billion.
with a B?
Yeah, I feel like I should have been like 100.
Yeah, 100
Billion.
billion. Because they turned it in some neat stuff, and I know that is on one of the podcasts that we did. So 2020 was an interesting year with COVID. We didn't talk much about the election. The markets got crazy. We saw some bankruptcies and some other stuff. We saw the beach stocks get pummeled, but we talked about a few positive things.
Yeah.
Like, what do you call it? Rockefeller Center's Christmas tree. They named the owl Rockefeller, if you didn't
aww.
do that.
That's kind of cute.
And then we have the panda, and we got some other really cool stuff.
Baby
so.
Yoda.
Baby Yoda came out in the what?
The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. Yeah.
so
So he's so adorable. Hopefully we didn't ruin that for anybody. And we'll take a deeper dive into the markets definitely next week because the investment challenge starts next week, guys. You're all set up on your iPads
Yes.
because what'd you get for Christmas? iPad and some
iPads. Yeah.
some what do you call it? EarPods as well.
AirPod Pros.
AirPods Pro. Yep. AirPod Pro. And so it was all good. But we really want to thank Uncle Tony and Cousin Kobe. Hey, Cousin Kobe. All right. We want to thank Toilet Paper and Cousin Kobe. Right, TP?
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, what?
That sounded like a cow. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
So we want to thank you guys for being here today. We're going to get this up. And don't forget to like, comment, and share it with other
Yeah.
people. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time on Money with
You.
Mac and G.
And Tony P.
Bye.
Bye.